Good morning, everyone. It's Mary. I'm just coming on here because I know when the new year came, I was like, I'm doing this challenge. You know what? It's not even a challenge, it's considered a goal. I set up all my visions, my goals, my prayers, everything. I did a board for myself because I want to motivate myself to get more in tune, more connected to God, because we can never know Him. We cannot be like, oh, I've been serving God for so long and I know everything. We can never know Him. And, we're learning more and more about God. Our confidence is getting stronger and stronger in God. Our faith is increasing. Our trust in Him is increasing. The more we are connected and in tune with Him. So I had challenged myself. I'm like, look, I'm going to read books this year, and I want to try to read one book a month, or however it works, 12 books throughout the whole year. So I started off with my first book, which is called Praying Women, which came so perfect because we were doing a challenge. Why do I keep using that word? I have kids. This word is used a lot. They use it a lot. And now it's getting stuck with me. So our church was doing a praying and fasting for the month of January for 21 days. And so um, I was like, yeah, I'm going to read a book about prayer. I read a smaller book, which is like a very quick read that breaks down, the Our Father prayer, why it's important to pray, scriptures that you can use in the Bible to pray. And maybe one day I'll make a video and read some of that book for ones that don't have never heard of it or haven't seen it, and I'll show it maybe in another video. But today, I want to talk about the book that I have been currently reading. I'm not completely all the way done. I have only, I believe, 3 more chapters left, and it's called, and I can show it to you right here, Praying Woman. And it's really good. It just, it just stays in tune with us as ladies, as women, and all of us are different, but we're all the same in some kind of way. For myself, I am a single mother of 4 children, and I'm always asking the Lord to give me the strength to help me to be able to have compassion and understanding for my children, to see things spiritually, to help them in a way when they're out in this world and there's so much temptation out there, so that they don't fall or turn away from the path that they're in towards God, because I have grown children and then I have one small child that's in kindergarten. So I really try to help them and mold them so that they don't make the same mistakes that I did growing up when I was their age. So, but I do want to share like the first chapter. The first chapter was, it's called Pray When You Don't Know What to Say. And the first, I was like, dang, it's true. Sometimes I find myself in prayer and I'm just like, a little overwhelmed, and you have racing thoughts in your head and you're just trying to focus on just praying to God and speaking to Him. And I have to remember, like, I have to talk to Him like as if I was sitting down having coffee with my girlfriends. I gotta just start talking and everything will start coming out and flowing. But there was a part, and let me see if I can find it here, that was in that chapter that I was like, dang, okay. It says, when you have a relationship with Jesus, prayer isn't something you do. It's who you are. It is. It's who you are. It's not something, oh, it's something I have to do every day. Like if it's a chore, it shouldn't be a chore. It should be something that you get up and look forward to doing, is reconnecting with the first love, with Jesus. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves and take ourselves back to when we first started that relationship with God, when we first were introduced to Him. We have to take ourselves back to the times when we cried out to Him and we were in hard times or hurting, and we asked Him for help, and we had that ugly mokoso cry, and remember that He got us out of that situation. The times that when it was really hard and bad, and you made it through because he gave you the strength to make it through. You know, it wasn't me, but it was him, and he helped us to get through that. And as I'm reading this book, it's, you know, it's a story about how, you know, going to God, praying to him, never giving up, you know, staying on that path. You know, when it's the hardest, to still seek him. When you don't know what to do, that's the time when you should be running towards him. And then in the times when everything is like going so good, not to forget about him and to continue to still seek him, just like that time that you needed him desperately the most, you know. And as I was reading this book, you know, there was parts that it reminded me of different stories in the Bible of women going to God, you know, seeking him desperately, you know, seeking him, crying to him, you know, and God like answering their prayers, and God being there, and God maybe answering the prayer, but maybe differently, because he knew if he gave it to us the way we wanted it, we wouldn't appreciate it, you know. And God does everything for a reason and makes things happen the way it needs to happen, the way it's ordained, because he knows us best. He knows us very well. He knows exactly everything about us. So, you know, he does everything intentional in the way it should be. And so as I'm reading through this book, and I have just a few more chapters, so I'm looking forward in reading the rest. So the last 3 chapters I have left in reading the book, those titles are Pray with Your Armor On. So, you know, not to forget to put that whole armor of God. Praying when you need a breakthrough. You know, we need you to answer now. I'm desperate. I'm like that